interests me.
Occasionally,
Good.
well, I don't.
Good morning, welcome to our Good Friday. What have I just read? And yes, you will have noticed morning prayer was slightly different this morning.
Yeah, exactly. No glory. That's a really good point you made, actually, about why didn't we say glory to the Father, the Son, etc. after, certainly after
Any
your
of the
reading.
things.
Well,
Yes.
and no introduction as well.
No
right
introduction,
At the beginning,
yeah.
straight into the song and the readings
Yeah.
and the Lord's Prayer and the Benedictus, and that's it.
Because it's not really a day for glory.
Well, it's a day. It is a day for glory, but it's a very. But I suppose it's to mark it that it's a very different day.
Right.
Today. So, and in fact, the readings are very different. Genesis 22.
Well, yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he's also about his your only son. You sort of think of Jesus as being
Your son, your
God's
only son.
only son.
That's the
Yeah.
point. God
Directly
did provide.
Right.
God provided his with the lamb, but actually ultimately with his only son. And because Jesus died on the cross, there's been no need for human sacrifice.
I mean, was there human sacrifice at the time?
There was by the other nations.
By the other,
But there was a spot of it, wasn't there? We read some
Yeah,
stories
by
in the Bible.
by the other nations.
Right.
And it was never ever intended to be part of God's plan.
Right.
It's not.
So it was quite something. I mean, it was quite something for
Grim.
Abraham to have to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
My word.
Amazing.
What did he say to Sarah, his wife?
And you know what? In the end, would his relationship have been with Isaac afterwards?
I don't know.
It's a great, it's an interesting story. So what would Isaac have said to his mum when he got back? So we went on this boys' trip, but it was a little bit
hairy.
it got a little bit unexpected.
It was an adventure.
Right. Maybe.
And then, but I guess both of God providing, but also, and I suppose the message for us is, what is there that is more important than God?
Right.
To God than us, and obviously family and children, and in that your firstborn child, and in a sense, certainly we have been given our children to love them, to care for them, to bring them up for God, but ultimately they belong to God. They don't belong to us. They belong to God, and we need to let them go and let them be God's.
So we're shepherds in the way of God's children.
Yeah, and shepherds of the children that He's given us as well.
Interesting.
So interesting. The next reading, Hebrews 10.
It's a great start, isn't it?
About
Shadow.
the law.
Yeah. And it's such a lovely idea that the law cannot somehow properly embody. It's a shadow of the things to come and not the true form.
And the sacrifices, again, we come back to the sacrifice thing. In fact, the sacrifices in themselves, that can't do anything.
But you have to keep on doing it because we keep on failing. That was interesting.
But it was about, they're pointing forward again to this one person who comes and lives a perfect life and who offers himself as the sacrifice. So all the other sacrifices were pointing to.
Right.
And but it is his obedience, his trust in his Father that saves us.
Right.
And actually that was for Abraham too, wasn't it? His obedience and trust.
Yeah.
And that's why Abraham's called the father of faith, because he's the one who trusted God. Because interestingly, although God tells him to sacrifice Isaac, previously to this, he said that through Isaac, he will bless Abraham and give him many descendants.
Right.
And so Abraham must have had those two, first of all that promise and then this command. And Hebrews, writing about it, says, so Abraham probably thought that he would kill Isaac and then Isaac would come back from the dead.
Right.
Or something like that. So,
right, okay. Because he's got the promise of lots of descendants, so he understood that something was going to happen. Something was going to happen. You just have to have a lot of faith in
But
this.
he just trusted God,
Amazing. And it's amazing how you said all the descendants of Abraham. I was in Dubai. They've just built in Abu Dhabi, which is an hour's drive from Dubai. Have you heard about the Interfaith Church?
No.
It's amazing. So there are three. It's arranged around a circle, three buildings, identical, and they're all from the three great Abraham religions. There's a synagogue, there's a mosque, and there's a church.
Yeah.
They're all the same, but obviously the details are different. So crosses and Islamic.
I mean, it is so important that in this culture, that in society, in the world that we live in, that we're able to get on the different faiths and people from the different faiths. But at the same time, equally, you know, it is disrespectful to each religion to say they're actually teaching the same thing.
Right.
We need to learn to live together.
To get on.
But I think that doesn't mean to say our independent witness is also going to be very different. And especially today, where, you know, as Christians, we would say ultimately it is because Jesus died on the cross. That is the reason that we can be put right with God, and that it is through faith in Him and through faith in Christ alone. However that faith is expressed, and different people will do that in different ways, that is our salvation, our hope, and the assurance of salvation as well. So, yeah.
But it is amazing, isn't it, how Abraham is the father of
three
religions.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We have that in common.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Bless you, and have a wonderful day. And as I say, it'd be lovely to see you if you're around, but appreciate many of you may not be very close. Have a great day, and have a great Good Friday.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Yes, Good Friday.
Bye.
Right. And lots of chocolate coming.